Hey, hello everybody. Welcome. I don't know how this is going to look. I'm not sure how this is going to be here. Hopefully, what's it look like? Is it really choppy? I think it might be. And for some reason, that means OBS, once again, is a little messed up. Is it not? Maybe it's not now. Now I think we're okay. OBS doing OBS things. Anyway, welcome to everyone out there. Hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully you had a great weekend. Hopefully you have a great week coming up. What we have here, we've got the final round of the Can-Am SimSport Formula USA 23 Championship. This round, as you can probably tell from the title of the video, from the banner at the bottom, it is going to be the Fontana Auto Club Speedway, an oval race to end this season. Another race like Indianapolis was, where it's double points. So there are about 9 to 10 drivers who still have a chance to win this entire thing. Now, if you're sitting there wondering, where are we right now? We're sitting in the pace car because it is the most quiet place on this circuit right now. There are 19 cars out there. We're expecting a few more to trickle in by the end of this. We're in practice at the moment. Qualifying will be coming up here shortly for 10 minutes worth, and then 200 laps of the Fontana Oval. Let's bring up the chat. If you're out there, hello and welcome. If you haven't already, put a like on this thing. If you need to subscribe to chat, please do so. If you want to subscribe to chat, but then also to stick around and see all the cool things that we're doing on this channel, please do so as well. So welcome to anyone and everyone out there. Say hello if you're out there. Don't be shy. Don't feel shy. Come on in. Get your front row seat. Hang out. Get you an adult beverage. We've got one. We're in the Cleveland Browns thermos today because my Cleveland Browns, they won. They beat the San Francisco 49ers. It's already a great day because of that. It's turning into a great evening because of this. So there you go. What can we do here? What can we do? I don't know how. Let's see. Let's just pick someone out there. Ian Arnold is coming in. He's in. You got Vespa out there. We've also still have those. We've still got the name banners. EH Plus, welcome out there. Terry Sanders, welcome out there. If anyone else is out there hanging out, welcome. Hopefully it doesn't get choppy. I don't know. Sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. If it does, let me know, and we'll try to do something on the fly. But it should be okay. Hopefully it's all right. But we got 18 right now, so someone might be going out, coming back in. Either way, in practice, Fontana Auto Club Super Speedway, double points, final round is coming to an end. We participated personally for the first 5, and then I had to get out because I can't handle the car. These crazy drivers have held in for 8 strong rounds, and it's all coming to an end. What we've got here this evening as well. Number 1, Donnie Diablo coming at you. Turn off Vespa. Who else we got? Let's check out Robert. It freezes up a little. So I will say also, it might look like it's freezing up. AMS2, at least under the director role that we are right now, kind of hitches a little bit at times. I don't know if it's probably because we're running triples still as we're watching this. If we weren't running triples, it might run a little bit better. But who am I looking for? I'm looking for Robert Lowry's, who we're on board with right now. So hopefully it doesn't freeze up too much. If it does a little bit, my apologies. Hopefully it doesn't a whole lot. As we did for Indianapolis, we're also recording as we go along here. So now that time, I did see it. OBS is acting weird. I don't know if it's just... it might just be my internet happening a little bit. But we're also recording. So if this doesn't actually, like, go off without any major hitches. We're going to record, and we're going to upload this to the Can-Am Sim Sport YouTube channel as well. So that will be an uninterrupted, pristine copy of all this, and should be a lot better. But either way, we're gonna work ourselves through this here. We're gonna get through it. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna hang out. We got 20 seconds to go in practice. 10 minutes of qualifying is coming up. Let's get to this. Let's turn off Lowry. Let's go up. Here's the weather for this race. So we're in practice right now. From the date that was chosen, real weather, there was a 25% chance of potential rain. We obviously did not get that. We got the 75% of sun. For qualifying coming up, another 15% with haze. So we might see some extra haze, some extra marine layer out there over top of the circuit for qualifying coming up here. Now for the race, as you see there, the race start is about 4 p.m. evening time, light clouds, 20% chance of rain. And then going into all of it, somewhere near the end potentially, it's going to be sunny, but also clouds increasing with a 30% chance of some type of water, some type of precipitation. So there is your final round, round 8, Fontana weather, brought to you by the CASS team, the CASSCAR. Oh, and you can see, wait a minute, we got to move it. Let's move that down just a bit. We got our little logo. We actually can turn that off. Let's move that up there. We're official. We got our CASSCAR logo going right now. I'm hearing a lot of cars revving up. It's actually pretty terrifying. We're going to go roof cam, so we're on board with Alex. On board with Alex right now. We're going to ride along with him a little bit. So the way that like they did for Indianapolis, Fontana here is a solo qualifying session. So if you're familiar with how iRacing does it, everyone is like still in the server session, but they're out there by themselves essentially. So each person has their own little qualifying session that they're in. And that is really to just allow these guys to have as much of an opportunity to put in a fast lap, not be caught up by traffic, not have that extra assistance of drafting, and kind of just make the total experience a little bit better for all these people. So that's why it's like that. Right now, we're on board with the pole sitter of a 31.9, Alex. I have gotten some information prior to this race where a fuel tank from full to empty, if you're in clean air, if you're not in any type of draft, if you're not in any type of pack, and you're out there just running by yourself, you're going to have about 39 to 40 laps worth of fuel. If you're in some draft, if you're working with other people, if you're kind of in a pack of people, you're going to get about 3 to 5 maximum extra laps of fuel. So there's going to be, in a 200 lap race, 400 miles. That's going to be about 4, 5, potentially 6, depending on full course yellows, of pit stops. So we're going to see a lot of people filling up the pit stalls. They're going to have to come off of turn 4. Most of them will probably come off turn 4, hit the brakes as hard as they can, come down to probably 100 kilometers per hour for the pit lane, get in, get out, get on their way. These cars, I didn't really talk about during Indianapolis, but there are engine map settings. So you've got rich, normal, and lean. So you can also gain a lap or two, perhaps, If you move your engine mapping to the lean setting, which uses less fuel, slows you down, obviously, then you might be able to pick your strategy that way. But if you're going full rich, if you're going full bore, all out, about 39, 40 laps, that's about all you're going to have. So let's move to someone else. We've been talking here. So Obscure Hi-Fi. He's now your pole sitter. No, he's not. He's almost 1/10 back from Jeff Hooten, sitting here in P2 with a 30.8. So as they're going around, as they're getting their tires kind of warmed up, they're going to start hitting faster laps. Or Obscure decides to go into the wall out there. Let's go towards the further back. You got Jeff Lacey, who right now is sitting in P14 with a 31.3. Hopefully everything sounds good. Hopefully everything, I realize at times it might be stopping and starting a little bit. I don't know if that's OBS. I don't know if that's YouTube. I don't know if that's my internet, which I would think it probably is not the internet. So it's either OBS on this side or it's YouTube kind of acting up, where I see it go from green to red. If you're familiar with OBS, that means we're losing frames every now and then. So apologies for that. But we're not gonna restart this. We're just gonna go right with it, unless the whole thing just craps out. Then we'll figure something out. Who else do we got? We got Ian Arnold out here, sub 9, currently in P5 with just under 31 seconds, so 30.9. As we roll around, so lap times, as you're seeing, under 32 seconds fully. Robert Lowry down there in 20th is about a 31.7, all the way up to Jeff Hooten, which is a 31.7 or 30.7. So basically a second from 1 to 20 right now. Audio's fine, just freezing sometimes. Yeah, my apologies for that. I think we're probably just going to have to kind of live with it, so my apologies. Because stopping and then starting would mean having to lose all of you to then find it again and restart it up, and it kind of messes up the one we had set up to go anyway, and everything else. So it probably won't happen too often, I wouldn't think. Let's see if there's something that we can do here. Let's see if that helps. So we've moved that down a little bit. That might help. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. It may not. It may do it. Who else we got there? Orange Hat. We got Dylan. I know we got Mrs. Orange Hat out there. Where's Dylan? There he is. We got Mrs. Orange Hat out there. Dylan currently right now with a 30.8, sitting in P3. Going along. Now, for this race, he's trying to spit. Right there's the line. You got to be about 100 right there. And it should be good. So now I see it doing a lot. I don't know what Dylan's doing. Dylan's all over the place in here. On board with Emery. So now, tonight, we're going to be doing trackside cameras, and this is the roof camera. The roof is going to give you the best look, at least on board with somebody. When it comes to being in the cockpit, you're down lower. You can't really see a whole lot because of the triples anyway, and because of the field of view. So we'll be doing roof cam, which is this, and trackside, which is how that looks. That head, look at those G-forces pulling it to the left as Emery comes through, trying to put in the time. Right now it's a 31.1. Does he get it better? I don't think so. We're going to stick with him, though. We're going to see where he ends up here. He's moving away. You can see the camera shaking there on the trackside. Trackside cameras aren't the best. They're a little too zoomed in when you're on the person, so it makes it a little tough to kind of see what's happening around. But he's still stuck there with a 31.1, so he might be kind of starting towards the back, which actually might be a really good strategy. Because when these cars get into a pack, anything can happen. You got the dirty air, so they'll start shifting around a little bit. They'll get a little loose, a little extra loose, and you never know. We might have a big one. I won't say the big one, but we might have a big one. So being in the back, that might help you out a little bit. We can kind of survey, take your time, pick your spots. 200 laps. You're not going to win it in the first 10 or even the first 100. Got to make sure that you get through a couple pit stops. Be there at the end. We've got the full course yellow graphics as well. So when the full course yellow comes up, you're going to see it. You're going to know. We're also going to know because the safety car will be out of the pit moving around. So qualifying is done. Let's just focus on the safety car. Let's go inside the safety car. It's quieter in here. Let's all come in. Theo Loop, pray for you. We are, sir. I see you at a 31.5 right now, P19. So, unless there's a shake-up here in the next 60 seconds, maybe. My countdown is not moving, and I don't know what that means. Hopefully. Oh, there it is. So we were going to go through that. So here you go. So Chris Frenchie, P1. Jeff Hooten, P2. Orange Hat, Dylan Ryder, P3. So they're all out there. Let's turn off. I hate that, how that comes up every time. Timings, we don't want. Splits, I don't know, think does anything. Standings, I don't know what standings does. It looks like my graphic, though, for some reason it's the same, but it's cut off a little bit of the names. So apologies for that. But we're going to do our best to keep everything on screen for you and keep everyone that's somewhat close to each other here in focus. So if you're out there, come on in, hang out, get in the chat. Let's chat about some stuff. Let's talk about some stuff. Hopefully the everything kind of holds up. We got 7 people out there. I appreciate every single one of you and everyone who's put a like on this so far. If you hadn't beforehand, appreciate that as well. If you want to sub to the channel, subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the little bell. That way you get all the notifications of when I at least either go live or put up a video, whether it's my own stuff with Can-Am Sim Sport or anything else, or Can-Am Sim Sport related like this. Keep on coming back. And we'll keep having fun. That's all we need to do here is just have some fun. So, out of the top 3, Ian Arnold, P4. Carlos, P5. Nikita, P6. Chris Barnes, P7. Obscure Hi-Fi, P8. Acceptable Loss, P9. Alex, P10. Burl, P11. Levy, P12. Tactical Nuclear Pingu, P13. Ninja Rigatoni, P14. Emery, P15. Chill Blast, P16. Jeff Lacey, P17. Jeff Lacey, P17. Vespa, P18. Theo Loop, P19. Robert Lowry, P20. Now, we're going to go back to Robert. We're going to go roof cam. So the reason we're going to be right here, because we want to see everyone. What they're going to do is they're going to pull away very slowly. They're going to do one manual formation lap. So once they get to the end, in between turn 3 and turn 4, they're all going to be where they need to be. Probably Ian Arnold in P4 is going to call green, and everyone's going to take off. So 200 laps, but really 199 racing laps. So grab a beverage, grab a snack. Get yourself ready. We're going to be in the back here right now. And the reason is because I want to see how everyone takes off. If anything happens, if anything craziness happens, anything with cold tires, I kind of want to see what happens first, and then we'll move ourselves up through the grid. Zoltan, welcome to you. If you're wondering what this is all about, the pinned message up there is ready to go. Robert's hanging way back here. And they're off. Green. Green flag. So we're off. So we're here in P20. Robert, you see everyone else up in front. We're going to kind of just hang out with him back here right now. Survey what's happening. You got two distinct lines. You got your inside line, you got your outside line. This is not like Indianapolis where you kind of have to go single file through those turns. You can ride the outside line the entire way if you want to. It's obviously going to be slower. But you've got more opportunity with it being so wide for side-by-side action. There you go, Vaughn. Boogity, boogity, boogie. I have not said it yet. I should have got a sound clip. That way I could have just pushed that like so many times. They're right now hanging out. You see people kind of jostling around. The front pack up there are really getting away from these back, 5 people here. So the back 5 are going to have to start trying to link up, use some draft. If you're out of the draft, you are a sitting duck. You're going to be left behind very quickly. Yes, that's correct, Zoltan. If you stay clean, if you stay out of any trouble, then you have, one of the better shots to win this towards the end. Now, 200 laps, it's a long way to go. So Robert's hanging out back here. I don't even have his name up. I apologize for him. Let's move up to, I don't know what that was. We just passed through a car. That was odd. We're going to move up to P14 here with Pingu. So we're on board with Pingu, P14. Once again, roof cam. So we moved up about 6 spots from where Robert was. And maybe there was a car glitched out back there. I don't know. But we're going to kind of see. So there's a gap now, obviously, between Chill Blast up there in 13, Pingu right here. Everyone right now kind of a single file line, trying to stay in that draft. Staying in that draft will help you save fuel, or at least get a couple extra laps of fuel out of this thing. It also gives you the opportunity to move into the lean engine mapping, where you can save even more fuel without having to just run it all under the rich setting. I gotta take a drink. My apologies. Apologies for any time the video hitches. I'm not sure what's doing it, but we're already deep into this, so we're going to go with it. Emery's coming up here on the right. There you can see him. That's Emery Anderson right there. He got the run on the outside. Maybe did a little shake and bake. Got a good run from the draft and then shifted out. Took the side draft. But then you're going to have Pingu here. Trying to take that inside. Maybe get some side draft off Emery here. Emery might try to slide in. Or Pingu might try to slide out. Help him push. He will not. Now Emery gets left behind. So let's move up further. Let's move up to Dylan. On board with Orange Hat. He's got Ian Arnold out here to his, you can see it on in my little camera. Out to his right, he's got Ian Arnold. In front of him, he's got Carlos, Nikita, and Chris Frenchie. Let's go trackside. Here they come. I'm not driving, Zoltan. No. If you didn't realize I'm not driving, you're not paying that well of attention. We're only broadcasting. I got no wheel here in front of me. I got nothing to do. We're just hanging out. We're just watching. We're the broadcast. We're the commentary. I wouldn't be talking this much if I was actually driving. But here in the trackside, this is what you get. decent. He's going to come shake. A little shake. Which they're even too far away. They probably even make the thing shake, but it shakes anyway. But Dylan trying to keep himself there, at least in the top 5, top 6. You got Obscure Hi-Fi coming up beside him. Let's go back to Roof. So you got Obscure here to his left. Dylan's just kind of running the outside. Nothing wrong with that at all. He's got a little bit of a draft partner there. That's probably Nikita there in P3. Nikita's shifting in and out, getting the run on the draft. If Dylan can keep it right behind him, but see how he's washing out? He's getting that dirty air. So now he's going to have to move down, get behind these guys. Really take it, but here comes Ian Arnold once again. Right there. Let's move up to P3. So you're on board with Nikita right now. You got P2 and P1 right here. That's Chris Frenchie that is getting ready to come up beside. He's got Carlos out here to his left. We're going to see what happens. We're going to stick on board here a little bit. I like this camera view. It gives you more of a what the driver's seeing, a better perspective of what's kind of happening to the left or the right, in front. You can't look behind, obviously, but if we wanted to really look behind, we would move back. But for right now, 12 laps of green flag racing. All right, so now we're on board with Carlos De La Torre. Went from second to third. Nikita's right there, who we were just on board with. Chris Frenchie up there in P1. Carlos right here in P3. Do these guys fight a lot? Do they work together? I would assume at this point you're going to want to work together. You got a long way to go. Pit stops will probably happen in about another 25 to 30 laps, depending if there's a full course yellow anywhere. So that's another strategy. Another thing, another variable with any strategy is that you gotta pick people to pit with. If you pit by yourself and you come out by yourself, you're not going to make up any grounds whatsoever. So if you come in with 3 to 4 other people, you're going to have a really nice group of people to then be on the same strategy, but then also with the draft to help you keep you going. All right, we're going to move back. Let's move back to... We're on board with Vespa. So these guys are way back. Excuse me. You got about a 5-second gap between P15 Emery, which is the last one in that group that you just saw go, and this group right here. So Jeff Lacey and P16 right there ahead of us. We're on board with Vespa. You have Theo Lupu coming out to his right, so he's going to be right behind Jeff Lacey. So this group right here is a group of 5 who got left behind because there's obviously more people, at least all 15 of the front group all together. What's happened? Oh. Safety car's out. So Ian Arnold looks to be in the wall. He looks like he's in the ground. That's a new one. That's probably going to be a DNF. So I'm not quite sure what's happening there. But unfortunately, Ian Arnold looks to have gotten into the wall up there at the top and now is in. He's inside the track. There comes everyone else. So maybe he just got disconnected and that's where it's put him. But the safety car is out for the first time of this race. Do we see people pit? Do we see people stay out? That was what lap are they on? They're on lap 19. So they've got about 20 laps to go. Do you top off now and get yourself on a different strategy? Or do you stay out there, wait to see if anyone else comes in? And if no one else comes in, if you do pit, you're going to go to the back of the line. So you're going to still be with people. But you'll obviously be on a different strategy. So it looks like Ian has dropped out, unfortunately. It looks like Dylan is also in with damage, unfortunately. So maybe Dylan and Ian got together at some point, and someone else was in there too. Who else is that? That's not Robert. That's not Ninja. That was one of the. Where's Obscure? I think Obscure Hi-Fi has. All right, so we're seeing people come in. So we got some pit stops happening. No one's driving the safety car. That is just an AI safety car out there. So people are coming in. Has anyone stayed out? Ninja Rigatoni's still out. Burl's out. Acceptable Loss, Chill Blast, and Nikita have stayed out. Everyone else has come in. So the safety car is kind of a newer feature to AMS2. It is completely AI driven. The system obviously triggers when it should, when there's a car stopped in the racing line, or if there's an oval like we are here, any car kind of stopped on the track will trigger that full course yellow, and then the Chevrolet Camaro safety car will come out. So no one's driving it. It's just rolling on its own. So it has done 3 laps. It will probably do 1 more lap and then come in. It might come in on this one. So Burl, I don't know what's happened. So Burl is coming out. He's not P1. He'll probably be at the back of the line. There's Dylan coming out. So these guys are going to be maybe a lap down already. Now the problem, I shouldn't say the problem. One of the drawbacks of AMS2, oval racing, full course yellows, there's no wave around. There's no lucky dog. So once you go a lap down, you'll never get it back unless you go on a different strategy and stay out. But they're going back green. Let's get on board. We're missing everything. Green flag. So now you got Nikita, Chill Blast, Acceptable Loss, 1, 2, 3. On board here with Acceptable Loss after the first full course yellow, involving what looked like 3 cars. Probably Ian Arnold for sure. Orange Hat had damage, and then Obscure Hi-Fi is gone from the board as well. So 3 people involved there. Nikita and Chill Blast, like I said right there. Let's on board with Theo Lupu. So Mark, your car just exploded into the air for no reason. Really? So it looks like Theo is coming into the pits. So he's taking a green stop pit here for some reason. I don't know why. On board now with Robert. So Mark, did your car affect what looked like Dylan and Ian as well? It looked like there were three cars involved with whatever happened there. Yours, Ian's, and Dylan's. And you and Ian seem to have gotten the worst out of anything in that. Dylan had to go in for repairs, and now he's back out. I believe that was Theo coming out of the pits after a green flag stop. So, wow. So you immediately went up into the fence and then upside down. That's crazy. Wonder if it's some type of, has to be some type of glitch or something, I would think. All right, so there's a huge gap here between P9 and up and the rest. So let's go on board with Pingu. So Pingu here, P7. He's got Ninja Rigatoni and Jeff Hooten close behind, and then the group of 6 in front. So we'll stay here for a little bit. We'll see what happens. Glitch in netcode is what we were thinking. Yeah, that's crazy. But right now, we've got at least 18 still in the race, with Dylan, P18, I believe, 1 lap down. But we'll stay here for just a bit and kind of see what happens with the top 6 on board with P7. P8 and 9, not too far behind. And then a big gap you can see there from 9 to 10. This gap right here. From 9 to 10 of over 3 seconds. So they all got left behind. Fairly easy, it looks like. But I would think right now, you kind of just, you want to settle in. You've had your full course yellow already. I think everyone, other than maybe the top 3, came in the pit. So you just got to hit your spots and keep the car near the bottom and kind of just ride it out for a while. You're only on lap 30 of 200. There's a lot of time left to go. Well, looks like it's getting spicy. Let's go up to Chris Barnes, P5 right now. The top 4 there. And they're doing some shake and bakes. They're doing some shimmies. A little shake, rattle, and roll. They're kind of swaying back and forth a little bit. Maybe some dirty air. Maybe just kind of keeping it there. Getting a good run here by Chris. What's it look like trackside? There they are, trackside. You got all the heads shifted to the left, all those G-forces. But the top 7 are very close to each other. Looks like 8 and 9, who were right there, Jeff Hooten and Ninja Rigatoni, have been left behind. You can see them coming through turn 2 right there. Followed then by kind of the third pack. So let's move it back a bit. Let's move back to Noah. So Noah here, P13. Jeff Lacey right ahead. Emery right there. Chris Frenchie, the first car in this line, with Robert Lowry not too far behind this position. So about a group of 5 in this pack, with a twosome there in between that you can kind of see going through the start-finish line right now. And then 1 through 7 all the way up there. It's already in the turn 1, probably coming out of turn 2. Got a good run here. Let's see what happens. He's going to take the high line. He's going to do the out and in. See, when it comes to these quote unquote, well, the generic IndyCar that they are, the way that I know oval racing is to just draft at all times. So when I see some of these guys, running the high line like all the way and not getting down behind these other cars, I'm really unsure why. Because I know the drafting way of oval racing, where you're stuck behind that car right there, helping you all propel forward, and trying to get around as quickly as you can. But it's working. I mean, he's sticking right here. Jeff Lacey right there. Emery coming up right there. But since he's up here in the high line, the two low liners are obviously going to be getting in front because that's the shortest distance around an oval. And he gets left back. And then he gets the run again. So I'm not exactly sure, when someone's running an outside line by themselves, like what benefits that has over just sticking to the low line like these other ones are and sticking behind them. Unless the dirty air is that bad that it's washing them out so much that you'd rather be in the high line for survival purposes. And that I can understand. All right. Well, and see, that's right, Zoltier. That's why I'm a drafter, I guess you could say, because the more people that you have drafting together, granted, I'm more of a stock car racer on ovals. Obviously, the more that you have linked up together, you're going to get. So, Mark, you're the info man here. So the high line will save tires, but it's slow. The tires last a fuel stint on the low line, so the high line by yourself doesn't make sense. Okay, so then we're all right there. So here, Nikita did not pit under the last full course yellow. So on lap 40, he's coming in. He's going to probably get 4 tires. They're going off and on. He's not getting tires unless it doesn't do all of it for us. I don't know. So he may have gotten tires. He may not have. But he got fuel for sure. He's on his way out. We're going to move back up to Pingu. Up in the top 6. I count 6. There was Nikita coming out. So the pit exit is going to be right there. So after you get basically all of turn 1 and turn 2 is your pit exit, which obviously is not as fast as being on the track. So you got a long way to go to finally get yourself back up. That was Chill Blast. Chill Blast did not pit under the last full course yellow either. So these guys that have been out there for the full 43 laps are now starting to come in. It's like Ninja Rigatoni. He also did not pit. He's coming in. So 40 to 43 laps, depending on what drafting you have, what partners you have, maybe what engine mapping you're in. 40 to 43, 45 at the most is what you're going to get on a fuel stint. Well, riding here with Pingu up in the top 5. Acceptable loss, P1, Alex P2, Carlos P3, Christopher Barnes P4, and then Pingu, who were with P5. Only one full course yellow up to this point, which I guess, Mark, unfortunately for you, was probably the catalyst of that with Ian Arnold and Dylan Ryder. Those three, the more involved cars in that first full course yellow. And then other than that, we've been green flag racing. So who we have here? So we're moving back to Vespa, P13. He's got Burl. I'm not sure why acceptable. I don't think he pit during the last full course yellow, but he's jumping around all over the timing for some reason. He's probably in there right now somewhere. There he was. So we've got Burl right here in P12. I don't know. I don't know who this other car, according to this. So Burl's there. Robert's up there. So there's a blue flag. That might be Dylan. Perhaps. Someone that's not in the running order. Mark Sutton, welcome. Yeah, Emery's out there. Emery is currently up in P6. Let's move to him. So he's got a whole gaggle of people here. Currently he's in P5. He's got, I believe that's Nikita. Oh, what happened? Full course yellow's out. Who do we have? Let's find them. Oh, Jeff Lacey is on his top. That is unfortunate. He's on his top. He's missing a tire. He's probably going to be a DNF. Here is your second full course yellow. Now, those folks who just pit like a lap ago, that one may not buff out, but he has gone back and he is officially, unfortunately, out of this race. And with that, the full course yellow comes out. Oh, okay. So, Mark, when we found Ian, his car was actually under the pavement. All you could see was like the top, like airflow thing or whatever. But he was actually in the ground, like trying to back up and move around. So that may have knocked him out and then pushed him into the ground. So unfortunately, we've lost 3 drivers. He was under the pavement in turns, in turn 3 and 4. He was in the concrete. I've been noticing that too. Whenever we're following the safety car, it hitches. I don't really know why. But if anyone doesn't remember from Indianapolis, since we're focused on the safety car, the lap count is how many laps it's been on track. So we're currently on lap 50. We're a quarter of the way done. Quarter of the way done officially in the race. And we've had 5 laps of full course yellow. Now we see everyone coming in. Everyone's coming in again, topping off, getting tires perhaps. Where's my cursor? It's up there. But you see everybody coming in. Let's go roof. We can see that's Pingu coming in. There was a car that was Jeff Lacey's, probably getting maybe Robert Lowry's coming out. Who's gonna win it off pit road? I believe the speed limit for pit road is about 100 kilometers per hour. They're all coming back out. Yeah, Zoltan. So sometimes we'll go in the cockpit. You can look at the cockpit of the Camaro safety car. Sometimes the safety car tires are slightly in the asphalt as well, so they got some bugs that they need to work out. But you know what? It sort of works every now and then. But right now we're inside of it. Going 106 kilometers an hour. No. That says 106, but the speedometer says about 170 something, so who knows? Yeah, like right there. I think it's in the turns. It kind of goes in, and then it might come out on the straights. Does it? Does it? Oh, that means it's coming in. When it shifts like that, we're about to go green again. All right, let's ride with Emery. All right, Mark, you got your shot. Here you go. We're on board Emery Anderson. Now he's fourth on the timing screen, but yet he's not fourth on track. So I'm not sure where we might be here. We're about to be green. There it is. Green flag. On board Emery Anderson, showing fourth. We'll see what happens. He's got some fast people behind him. He's also got some fast people in front of him. We got Pingu ahead of him as well. Everyone in the front might be some of the folks that want to try to get their lap back. So maybe if they stay out front, they can kind of work themselves back around. Here comes the Frenchman. Right there. Someone's dropping down. I don't know who that was. We'll stick on board here with Emery for a little bit because there's a lot of stuff happening here ahead of him. Currently showing P5 on the standings board. I'm fairly certain the Drivers' Championship might be wide open at this point. Mark, weren't you currently in P1 of the Drivers' Championship? I might need a fact check on that. But unfortunately, now that Mark is out of this, it might be wide open, even with the double points. So anything can happen here in these last 144 laps. So P1 in the team champ. Oh, so I wonder who's P1 right now in the Drivers' Championship. I should know that. Jeff. So Jeff Hooten's still out there. Currently P7. So that one might not be as wrapped up as, or that one might be wrapped up, perhaps. Thank you for that. Thank you for that info. I should know all that, but I didn't. Here comes someone up to the left of Emery. So let's see where. So let's move off. Let's move to. Where is he? So right now this is P1. Chris Roulette, with 3 people ahead of him. Which have to be blue flags. Now, we don't make people get out of the way of a blue, not like a road course would, where you would want to, you know, let them pass where able. That car just dropped out of existence, whoever that was. No, they're back. Odd. I'm trying to figure out, that might be Nikita out front. Let's see. It is. Nikita, Chill Blast, acceptable. That's 12, 13, 14. 12, 13, 14 out here in front of P1. My guess is they didn't pit again under the full course yellow. They're all, I think, on the same strategy anyway. So it's probably playing into their hand a little bit that they're out there together. I'm trying to stay in front of P1 here. We'll see what happens here for a little bit, and then we'll start moving backwards. That was close. That was close to a shifting right on over and taking out that nose. All right, so we know who they are. So let's move back to P1 overall in the Drivers' Championship as of right now. I don't have live updates to that. No one does. So right now, coming into this round, Jeff Hooten on board, your current P1 in the Drivers' Championship. Currently P8 in this race. Vespa right there in the pink livery. Emery right there, out to the right in P6. Still confused about what happened. Sorry to all that were affected. Just think it's one of those sim racing net code. So, Ian, I said earlier, when I started to find who was involved, I found you in the concrete. You were under the pavement in turn 3 and 4 there. So I don't know if that information kind of adds to what all you saw and were able to clip and whatnot. But we basically saw the top of whatever the top of the car is, that like oval thing at the top of the car. That was the only thing visible outside of the concrete. There goes a car into the pit. That looked like Dylan Ryder, I believe. Yes, it was. But we actually didn't catch any of it, Ian. We kind of caught it after the fact. Saw you in the concrete. We saw Dylan with rear wing damage, and then we never found Mark. I think Mark must have shot into the sky and might be flying over the Pacific at the time being. Well, I think for so now where'd Dylan go? Dylan's fallen off the listing. So I'm not sure what happened to him. Did he retire? Jeff Hooten just passes Emery back here in P8. A lot of things happening in front. We still got, I believe, 12, 13, 14 up near the front of this, which was Nikita acceptable. There goes a car. That was a big one. Was that Frenchie? Who was that? No, that was, no. Who was that? Christopher Barnes. Chris Barnes into the wall hard. That will probably be a reset and a DNF, unfortunately. Did full course yellow come out? It did. There's a safety car. Oh. Oh no. Oh no. You never want to see that. Oh no. There were some things oh goodness, there were some things. That's Pingu. Pingu got turned around. Alex got turned around. I don't think Burl was affected. Someone else was too. Who's that yellow car up there? There's Carlos. He may have been affected as well. Some things happening under the safety car. I guarantee we saw that happen because people were passing the safety car, and I bet the text was changing, saying don't pass the safety car. So people were coming to a stop to let the safety car get in front, and then I bet that's what caused that chain reaction of things we just saw. And that car's drifting all over the place. I guess this is as good a time as ever. Throw that out there. If you're here because you're out of the race, unfortunately, number one, I'm sorry to hear that. Sorry to see that. Number two, put a like on this. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you're out there and you're not a part of the Can-Am Sim Sport Discord, there you go. Discord.gg/CASS. Yeah, I don't know. I know Theo Lupu. Chris got DQ'd. Oh my God. Probably for passing the safety car, which is probably what led to all of that stuff happening as well. There's the Pingu. He might have some damage that he needs to have taken care of, perhaps. Vespa's out. Acceptable losses coming in. Getting some stuff done. Robert, Noah, Nikita. But we'll let this all cycle around. So unfortunately, we started with what, 20? And we're not even halfway into it, and we've lost 6. Now here comes some opinions, my personal opinions. AMS2, Automobilista 2. It's got problems. We all know it, but it has fundamental issues that just affect racing, multiplayer racing overall. I will stand by in saying AMS2 is a fantastic driving simulator. It simulates the tires, it simulates the physics, it simulates the track, it simulates the weather, simulates all that stuff very well. But when it comes to actual racing, it really shits the bed, unfortunately. John C., thank you for the sub. I'm going to touch some grass. Ian, be safe out there. We'll talk to you soon. Who do we go on board with? Emery's first. Let's go Nikita. We're going to go green here. Nikita showing P7. Green flag. Off they go. We're going to hang out right here. On board with Nikita. He's got a lot of people ahead of him. He's also 7th, but there's probably some blue flags. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Probably 3 people out front that are on a different strategy overall. That's Noah. He's a little high. A little too high. Here comes Vespa. There goes Vespa. Let's move back to Pingu. Let's get a good full look at this. That's acceptable loss. Hey, John, welcome. I'm glad to hear that. It's AMS2, when you have a good community of people like we do. There goes a car. That might be Nikita into the wall. It was. when you find a good group of people to race with, you know, AMS2 can be a lot of fun. So I'm glad you've found us. I'm glad you can join in, you know, when you can. The Thursday races, the Sunday races are fantastic ways to just jump in, get familiar with the sim, get familiar with multiplayer sim racing as a whole anyway. Unfortunately, then you get times like this where the whole sim kind of just shits itself in various ways to kind of dampen the whole racing experience. So, Ryder, you also found that landmine that exploded Ian and probably Mark, and then you got DQ'd. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Very unfortunate. Which I mean, we've run Fontana here, Auto Club, quite a bit on the oval. I don't think anyone's ever tripped that landmine before, so it's either something new or it's something with these cars on this track. Maybe even as deep down as this date, weather, live track, whatever, and it's sending people sky high whenever they do catch it correctly. So, unfortunate. Happy you're here, but unfortunate that you have to be here. Wishing you were still out there doing this. Yummy Soupy, welcome to you, sir. Part of the Mid-Pack Club. Just made it home from dinner. Hopefully you had something good. What'd you get? Chipotle, I hope. Thank you for the hearts. Either way, we're 76 laps done. Get close to halfway. Started with 20 people, down to 14. The track itself, sushi. I love it. The track itself has claimed 3 people that we know of. And then Chris Roulette got DQ'd due to the safety car. And I'm trying to think of who else is gone because of something. That's at least 5. So be one more person that is no longer. Jeff Lacey crashed. Christopher Barnes crashed. And let me tell you, I think Putin put the mine down. Rasputin, he was great. He was Russia's greatest love machine. Let's go on board with Burl. Haven't been on board with him yet. Currently sitting P5, P6. He's got a bunch of people down here on the low line. He's going to run the high line, try to stay out of the way for a little bit, and then maybe be able to slide down. But he's getting railroaded really bad now because he's on this high line. So that was Alex that just went by. Maybe he's trying to save some tires. That's why he's on that high line. Here goes another. There goes Pingu, who we were just on board with. So we've watched someone shift back to where we just were on board with Pingu. A lot of people ahead, though. A lot of people ahead. That's not just 1 through 9. That is some extra folks there in front that are on a different strategy, going about it in a different way. This is probably Alex right here in front in the DHL. You got Noah over here to the left. You got Pingu back here on the left rear. You got about 3 wide up here in the front. Hopefully Burl doesn't clip anyone. He doesn't, so he moves down. They're everywhere. It's an angry swarm of bees now. He's going to have a hell of a run coming in here. So he's going to have to be careful. We're trying to figure out who everyone is. Emery's up in here. Robert's up in here. Jeff Hooten, your current P1 in race and in the Drivers' Championship. Living the high life. I believe that's Emery right there. Out to the right, the high line. Hopefully he doesn't clip this person. So now you're starting to get 2 grooves going. And you can see how quickly, so we saw Burl here just get freight trained by at least 3 to 4 people. Wasn't 5, went back to 9. He's already back up to 5. So your positioning can change 3 to 4 times just in a single lap. So you really got to pay attention to your mirrors. If you got the radar going, which hopefully you do. Now people just get the run on the left and the right of you, and not trying to switch lanes too much or too often or too quickly, and taking yourself and someone else out in the process. Because you could go 3 wide here, which they're kind of doing now. You got Emery out there, Burl. That might be Robert in the Arrow McLaren, maybe. But we are in the thick of it right now. I mean, that's Carlos right there. I don't know where Emery is. I think Emery's the car directly ahead of us. But let's move back even further. Let's get some more eyes on this. So we're here with Noah, who's moving all over the place too with everyone. P9, and then you got a 7-second gap to Vespa in P10. So the main body of this race is right here, right now. So we're going to sit on board because you're going to have a good sight line of everything happening. And you're going to see then, like I was saying, where people can just get the runs on both sides of the line, low or high, and maybe trap someone in the middle, making the meat in the sandwich. So what Noah has to do is that he has to try. He should be coming down here to the left. Now, I'm not telling him what to do, but what I would do is I'd be moving down to the left, getting behind Pingu, trying to get yourself right up to the back of him, and not bump draft, because you can't bump draft in these, but help propel yourselves forward. If you stay up here too long and you don't have anyone in front of you helping you suck you in, you're going to get left behind very quickly. In the Auto Club here, that it would be the same if it was Daytona, Talladega, Atlanta, those super speedway type places. If you're not in a draft, you are going to be like you're driving a bag of concrete. You're not going to move. You're not going to go anywhere. But like Mark said further up in the chat, some people run the high line to save tires. Me personally, I don't know how to save tires or fuel. I go full bore. I go full out. So that's why they're with Chill Blast, I believe. Give it to me. Yes. So Chill Blast is in. Who was that we just passed? That may have been Theo Lupu that just went by, perhaps. You could run lean in the draft. Yes, you could. So that's another thing as well, where if you want to try to get a few extra laps, run the draft, slap it down from rich, or if you're running normal to lean, you can get a few extra laps. But it also comes down to, I don't know what just happened there. Did he hit the wall and slide out? That's Pingu. Chill Blast was coming out of the pits. Some people may not be comfortable in the draft either, because when you're drafting with someone, I mean, obviously you're going a lot faster, but it's also a lot looser. You can lose the car in an instant when you've got the dirty air, coming off someone, and you're right there. You'd think it'd be easy, but no, it can actually be pretty tough when you're trying to follow along, and it's throwing you all over the place, especially in the corners as well. So that was Pingu, who might have hit the outside wall and slid back in, and is now in the pits, maybe getting some that was acceptable. Who just went into the pit? I don't know. That was an acceptable speed too. Excuse me. See how hot car just flew all the way out there? Uh-oh, nose in the wall here. This is still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Emery just got DQ'd. I don't understand why that is. What's happening that people are getting DQ'd? This whole series is cursed. Oh, he was pitting and just got DQ'd. Interesting. So, once again, it goes back to me saying, the AMS2, it's a great simulator of driving. It's a great physics simulator. But to actually have a competent race, it's just not there. And that's just a personal opinion of mine. It's just a personal critique. There are so many things. Noah, stay out of the wall. Move it back down. There are so many things, so many unknowns that happen during a multiplayer race. So many bugs or whatnot that you just never know what it's going to do. Yeah, just more things that need to be ironed out that put a damper. Unfortunately, we're doing a broadcast of this, which doesn't help the fact. It's kind of just showing, if anyone's out there that either hasn't done AMS2 or doesn't do it very often, it's kind of just showing them that these random things can happen and put a damper on your entire thing. So, you just ran 95 laps of a race to be DQ'd for something. I got DQ'd on pit speeding, but also already had a bunch of penalties because I dropped across pit lane before it was open. So the speeding just put you over the top then. All right, sorry. I don't really know. Let's go on board with Robert. So here's your top 4. Jeff Hooten, Alex. You got Jeff Hooten here in front of us. Carlos over here to the left. On board with Robert. I think Alex is right out here to his left. But Acceptable's in here too. Oh no, Jeff's gone. Jeff's all the way up there. Okay. So Carlos, Alex, Robert, Burl's right back there. Same for Acceptable. So Jeff Hooten has just left. He's moving onward. Not without a care in the world. If I was one of these four people here, I would actually probably be getting over the radio, over the Discord voice comms, and just saying, boys, we got half the race to go. Let's get in line. And let's hang out. Let's push ourselves. Here, let's move backwards 1. So here's Burl. So from 2 to 6, these 5 right here, I would just be, let's get on the same strategy. Let's chill out. Let's push each other as much as we can in a single file line, as much as possible. And let's get to 20 laps to go. And then we push like hell, because these 5 here, if they started working together, they would begin to catch Jeff Hooten up there, who's running now by himself in clean air with no help. Realistically, these 5 should catch him, not right away, but would eventually catch him more than they're going to do now, kind of all over the place, fighting with each other. Now, that goes against, you know, a racer's way of doing it. You know, a racer's going to want to race. They're going to want to, you know, fight for position, but you got to be at the end of a race to get that position. My personal racing opinion of all that. But right now, this is the closest battle we've got here on track for position. 2 through 6. On board with Burl, just kind of giving you, I'll tell you what, let's go track side. So there's track side at least. You're going to see them all come down the front, or on the back stretch. Here it comes. There they go. And that's Noah. About a second, 1.6 seconds behind. So 2 through 7 are somewhat close. Zoltan, you're saying I'm not very smart. I mean, that's true. There are times when I'm not very smart. Most of you have seen how I drive. It's usually not very smart. But we're still on board with Burl. 2 through 6 are still here. I appreciate that, Zoltan. I haven't been counting, but I'm not sure. We've gone quite a bit here without a full course yellow. Hopefully me saying that doesn't trigger one. But you never know. So we'll start throwing those out. The tactics of those people are not good at all. Well, like I said, I mean, some people want to race for the position no matter what. So they could be thinking, you know what? You know, I want to be in front of this person, but yet then the person gets a run. They start swapping positions over and over and over. But you got to look at the long game as well of actually being there at the end, and you've got 93 laps to go. And, you know, Jeff Hooten is almost a full 3 seconds ahead by himself, like I said. But maybe they're banking on a full course yellow. Maybe their strategies are off. There you go. So that was Jeff. No. So Jeff Hooten has come into pit. That was also Alex coming into pit. Vespa's in. Noah is in. So now we've got a new 1 through 4 now. So Robert has taken over P1. Carlos is P2. Acceptable loss here in front of us. P3 and on board with Burl. P5. So even though I'm saying, you know, the different tactics, but then here comes Robert. He's coming into pit under green. So everyone's going to start shifting around. Could these three be on the same strategy? Who knows? So Burl is coming in to pit. He's coming in too fast. That might have been him speeding. Moving up to acceptable. Here's your P1, P2. Carlos right ahead. On board with acceptable loss for P2. Everyone else is cycling through their pits. We might see these two pit right now. Maybe not. Looks like Carlos probably is. So acceptable is out here by himself now. So here is your P1. who has the time keeps going up. So once Carlos comes out of there, he's going to have about a 20-some second lead, not pitting again. So who knows how much fuel he has left. But right now he is hot lapping. We're going to move back. We're going to move the Hooten. P1 overall in the championship. Let's go on board. Where am I? So Jeff Hooten, well, let's go back. So Acceptable has come in. So does he have? I don't think so. He didn't have a full lap on these guys. He shouldn't. Does he? He might. So showing Acceptable right now. Currently still in P1 in the pit. These two are racing around to take back P1 and P2. And I'm assuming they probably will. They will. But Acceptable will be coming out of there. The timing's all messed up. I don't know. I'm not sure where anyone is, to be fully honest with you. There it goes. So now it's updated. Jeff Hooten, P1, they're ahead. Carlos, that we're on board with, P2. Robert, P3. Burl, P4. Acceptable has cycled back around to P5. So this is your battle under 0.2 of a second for P1 and P2 of the race. Zoltan, you say that a couple weeks ago I did a bunch of iRacing at Talladega NASCAR. The races were 94 laps. My worst finish was 6th. Yeah, Talladega is a fun place to stock car race. Same as Daytona, same as Atlanta. But yes, those tactics of sticking in the draft they certainly won't hurt you. You're also, though, potentially in the thick of any type of a wreck that would happen. But May 2022, first cast champ, ping issues, cause contact with the champion. That's never a good thing, Chris Roulette, with the NAR still in your name. You need to update that, sir. But sorry to see that happen. A therapist for Stockholm Syndrome. I don't. I probably need a therapist, but probably not for that. But right now, P1, P2 of our race. Jeff Hooten, P1 overall in the Drivers' Championship. They're in P1. For either Chris or Mark C out there, what does that do for your team championship? Are you now eliminated from P1? Or did you have that wrapped up enough where you could afford 2 DNFs? That's the question. Unless the whole thing crashes then. All right. Well, I'm sorry to hear that too. It just goes to show. Here comes a great run. And I think, you know what? I think Carlos might be understanding. Oh, I mean, I'm sure he's already understood, but I think he's starting to just stay behind Jeff to propel these guys even further away from Robert in P3, who, according to the timing stand, is not working with any partner whatsoever. But Burl and Acceptable Loss might start working together and eventually catch up to Robert. What started with 20 people is down to 12. We are on lap 120. You're welcome, Chris. Stick around if you can. If not, don't worry about it. If you haven't already, put a like on it. Chris and I were 27 points ahead of Jeff and Jeff. Yeah. Who was the other Jeff? Jeff Hooten and, what's the other Jeff? Thank you, Crazy Canuck. Scotty G, welcome to you. Mark Sutton, best therapist for Stockholm Syndrome has to be Jack Daniels. Drink responsibly. Jeff Lacey, there you go. But he's out. So really, I think Hooten needs to just, if Hooten stays in this, then he will wrap up both championships. What can we do? Only because I don't really like to stay in one spot for too long. I don't want people to get bored. Let's go back to Burl. So this is P4 and P5. Acceptable loss right there. Burl right here. Now, I'm not going to criticize, but he should be doing those tactics we were talking about. Sticking behind acceptable to help get them up to Robert, up the road there, going into turn 3. Because Robert actually has people to draft with. Where the hell is Lupu? Lupu is back in P11 right now. Probably, let's see, if these guys are on lap 122, Lupu is on lap 122, but he is up here fighting with the Pingu and Chill Blast. That's 9, 10, 11 right here, right now. And they might be with Robert. They probably are. Let's double check this. Yes. So Robert here in P3 has 9, 10, and 11 right there in front of him. Why Mark Sutton? I think Insbury, Pingu, P10, he got hit and spun under the safety car, under yellow. So I think he had to get some repairs done for that, which then pushed him down to P10. Theo Lupu on board with here right now. I believe he started in P19 of 20. So he's been kind of near the back for the entire race, maybe just kind of hanging out, seeing how everything shakes out. I don't think he's been in any trouble yet. His teammate Emery is unfortunately out of this race due to disqualification for some reason. But it's getting close up in 1 and 2, and that's because they're working together. We'll sit on board with Robert here in P3 in race. 9, 10, 11 there in front of him. And he has a partner, and he's got more partners than what Burl and Noah were doing back there. Or no, Burl and Acceptable Loss. Didn't Theo pit by himself? I believe Theo also did pit. Yes, Mark Sutton, you are correct. I need you sitting here with just a big board of what people have done so far. I believe Theo Lupu did pit under green shortly after a full course yellow, so not really sure. Who knows? But we are now on lap 128 of 200. And apologies for any slight hitches with an H in the video. I'm not really sure why it's doing that tonight, but it is. I'm sorry for that. We are recording as we're streaming, so this uncut recording will go up on the Can-Am SimSport Can-Am SimSport YouTube channel sometime later this week. So if you want to rewatch back or re-find something, find it there as well, because there probably will be no hitches with an H in that upload. I feel like my camera is really there's a lot of real estate up over here. But we're still, that's Nikita, I believe. No, Nikita's gone. That may be Ninja Rigatoni right there. Still on board with Robert, P3 in the race. He's got the two Theos right there ahead of him, 9 and 10. Chill Blast was with him. He just pit. He's not really gaining much ground. He's under 4 seconds to P1 and P2. There goes Mr. Insbury Pingu into the pit. So now it's just down to Robert and Theo Lupo himself. So he's going to struggle to get back to the top two, who are right here. Now they're just chilling out. They're just hanging out. They're hanging on. They're having fun. These two have to know, let's just run. Let's run together. Let's pit together. Let's not do anything crazy. With 5 to go, that's when you can start going side by side, trying to get the runs to win it, if they're still in the front. We'll send you trackside. Well, we have 67. Is my math correct? Yes. 67 laps to go. We still have half the field left, which is a good thing. The crowd at Fontana goes wild. I'm not even sure if you can hear them or not. They are really linked up right there. And they are, I mean, you can see Robert is now 5 seconds, over 5 seconds back. Went from like 3.8 to now he's to 5.5. So that's the power of the draft and working together. What can we do here? Let's go on board with Vespa. Where is he? He is currently P8. About 1.7 seconds, so that's probably Alex up there in front of him. He's got Theo Lupo well back. I don't know if he's a lap ahead or not. But Vespa's still out there for a team, I think the fake MSR team that Yummy Soupy was a part of, Evan Gramke. And I think Evan misremembered the start time, which was okay because I think his car failed pre-race inspection anyway, and he was not running the proper fuel. He had some marathon fuel in there that had some extra additives that was disallowed. So his car was out. Gone. All right. I'm starting to lose my mind. Let's go back up to acceptable. So you got two people working together here. Acceptable. He is a cheater, Mark Sutton. A filthy cheater. Theo Lupo coming into the pits. We're sitting here on P5. He's got Noah right ahead for P4. He's got Robert not too far. So these two are catching Robert in P3, which won't be the red car up in front of him, but will be the car next one up. So if they keep working together here, keep drafting together, they're eventually going to catch Robert. Here comes The Pingu, though, out to the right. You can't see him, but I can. He's coming again. But these two are quickly catching Robert P3, the first car in this line. Ninja Rigatoni, currently P12 right there. I don't know if Acceptable should not be coming into pit. I think he just pit not too long ago. Coming up on lap 140. 60 laps to go. Coming up on almost 3/4 done. And there is a lot of real estate out there. There you go. Nikita, welcome, but also sorry that you're here and now and not still in the race. But we're on board with Acceptable, yes sir. Currently P5. He's got Noah up here to his right on the high line in P4. I'm not sure who. There's Burl. So Burl's caught up. So all right, so we got like 3 through 6 right here right now. With that car, who is that? That's not Alex. It's not Chill Blast. Oh, is that Pingu? Is that the back of Pingu's car? It might be. So let's move back one. So Burl, P6. He's got Acceptable out here to his left, P5. He's got the Nuclear Pingu, P9 up here with them, along with Noah and Robert. So they've all caught up to each other, other than P1 and 2, who are almost 10 seconds down the road. So we're going to hang out here. P1 and P2 are close for a position, but we know what they're doing. They're working together, as they should. So they're not exactly fighting for position. So we'll stick here where the largest mass of positional players are. We'll all find out what happens together. But thank you, everyone who's here now, whether you intended to be or not, whether you wanted to be or not. Thank you for being here. If you're here and you haven't already, put a like on this. And as I always say, the likes aren't for me. They are for the community first and foremost, for all these people out here on track, to maybe get more eyes on the community, to bring more people in, to obviously grow it, and to make the racing even more better, as much as AMS2 will allow it to be good. Jeff Hooten, your P1, is into the pits. So Carlos has what is going on here. Noah, very slow down the backstretch. I think it caught Burl off guard there a little bit. So Carlos has not pit. Oh, that's why. So Noah was slowing down a lot coming down to pits. So Burl has moved up to P4. Jeff Hooten's going to come out somewhere. You still got Robert, Acceptable, Burl, Pingu right here on the outside. So we might start seeing pit stops. I think Burl was caught out a lot by that dirty air. Kind of threw him all over the place. Two people coming out. That looked like Alex. And another yellow car. Who was the other yellow? Maybe, no, not Carlos. I don't know who that was coming out. Maybe Noah. Noah and Alex coming out together. So we're going to see who pits here. Carlos still has not. 10 seconds up the road. You got Pingu out in front of all this, P9. Robert, P2. Acceptable loss here in front of us as P3 on board with Burl, P5. No, P4, excuse me. And then Jeff Hooten, who just came out of the pits, about 36 seconds behind in P5. One would guess. There goes Robert. We're now up to P3. Acceptable right there, P2. You would have to expect that Jeff Hooten will cycle back around probably to the front or close to the front once Carlos comes in. Excuse me. Once Carlos comes in, then once it's acceptable and Burl here come in, which I think Burl might be coming in now. He is. So there goes Hooten. I think Hooten has to get back around again to get in front of Burl. I might be wrong, but that might be how it's going. No. It's just taking a while for these standings over there to update. No, now they've moved back. So Burl's coming out of the pits on board with Jeff Hooten. Should take over P3 right now. Now. At some point he will. There it goes. So now Jeff, P3, Carlos into the pit, which means Jeff should take over P1, P2. All the things are getting mixed up in my head. We're going to move back, though. We're going to move back to Noah. So here's where things are spicy. Noah, P7 right now. Alex right ahead, P6. Burl is somewhere in this. Maybe the next car up. No. Maybe the car in the middle there, P5. Robert's out there as well, P4. Two cars stuck in the track. God knows what that means. Hopefully those cars are still moving. That's just some type of artifact stuck there. So Noah's going to try to get a good run. That's not Burl. That is Burl, right? Yeah. Passes Burl. Now we're up to P6. He's got his eyes set on Alex there, P5. The sun is setting. I can't tell you if that's north, south, east, or west. Well, it wouldn't be north or south. Unless we're on like Mars or something. Well, it'd have to be west. The sun always sets in the west. I'm not sure what I'm talking about anymore. Either way, the sun's setting. The shadows are getting longer. This should end before nighttime, though. So there should be no need for the lights around the circuit. There's all kinds of stuff happening here. So we're going to stay on board. Right here, right now. A heck of a run coming here. We're going 3 wide. Someone backed out down there. We'll go trackside. They're getting close. Oh. Here they'll come down, screaming down the backstretch. He's got Alex right over here. They're close. That's Robert right ahead. That might be out in front is Chill Blast. Right behind him is Theo Lupu. 10 and 11. And then 3 No. Then 4, 5, 6. So Jeff Hooten did not get P1 back. So Carlos was able to get in and out before losing P1 back to Jeff Hooten, who had pit just a lap or two earlier to get back around. So Carlos still out there in P1, Jeff Hooten P2. Acceptable loss, I think, is that car going into turn 3 right now. P3, Robert, the black car, right up here on the left. P4, Alex to his direct left. P6, P5 and 6. So things are spicy in certain parts within the top 7. Burrell's about 3 seconds back from all this, 2 seconds back, somewhere in there. So he's there. He might be there in the end. We'll find out as we come up on 160 completed here very shortly with 40 to go. A pit stop should happen for everyone by the end of this. Unless someone's going to pit right now, come out in a pack and hang with a pack and get about 43 laps on the fuel tank and not go again. Fascinating things. So much stuff happening. I'm happy you're here. If you're out there, I'm happy you're here for the ride. You're here for the ride along. You're here for any good wisdom and or bad wisdom that I might have. I appreciate you. I appreciate any like, comment, subscription, anything. It's all very much appreciated. And the community appreciates it too. Like I said, this all, same thing. No edits, no cuts, nothing. Will all go up on the Can-Am SimSport YouTube channel as well. A rebroadcast in its entirety, I believe, as they say in the broadcast business. We're on the right person, right? Yeah. Let's move up. So you got Alex here, P5. P4 and 3 are getting spicy here to the left. Theo Lupu, who might be driving in his rear view mirror right now, is at the front of all this. Noah's taking it back. So 3, 4, 5, and 6 are all right here balling out. They're hauling ass around Fontana. And we might get 3 wide here soon. Can we go green to the end? I'm going to say yes, but anything can happen. Alex is getting one heck of a run on the top line. They're 3 wide. You can't see them, but you're going to now. Oh! I'll tell you what, the net code tonight is a little suspect for one reason or another. So we'll go on Theo Lupu, P10, but he is being circled by P3, 4, 5, and 6. We'll go back to Noah. So, like I was saying, 3, 4, 5, and 6 all around Theo Lupu and P10. I thought for a second there they had connected, collided, touched, and Theo Lupu was sent to the atmosphere. But just a little netcode hiccup, as they say in the business. What business that is, I don't know, but I hear that's what they say. So these four are about 9 to 10 seconds back from Carlos in P1, Jeff Hooten in P2. Now, if you're asking, like, why are you sitting on just one person for a long time? Because sitting behind a pack, like you're seeing there, gives you the best perspective of what's happening, of what someone is attempting to do, what they're wanting to do. Yeah, that happened over here. I'm not really sure what happened. But sitting at the last position, like in a pack like this, really gives you just what is happening in real time compared to sitting at the front person that you can't see behind. So I sit at the back on board with someone and just watch ahead. So right now, Alex, P3, the yellow car in the front. Acceptable loss is this white car here, 2 ahead. Theolupu's in the middle. Robert Lowry, P5 right there, Noah right here. It just allows you to see everything that's happening in real time. If we had like custom cameras and stuff, if the sim allowed it, then we could do other things. We could move around more freely, but you're pretty limited in AMS2 to where you can put a camera. So, excuse me. So this is the best that I have come across. The track side is usually too zoomed in. You can't really see what's happening like in a corner. It's almost too focused on the car that you're focused on. If the track could be like trackside cameras could be pulled back a bit where you could at least see what's happening through a corner or whatnot, that'd be even better, but we don't have that, so we sit on board. Roof cam is where we are. On board with P6, P5, 4, and 3, all right here. About 10 to 11 seconds down the road from P1 and P2. We'll jump to P1 and P2 here very shortly, but this is at least the biggest group of cars fighting or working for position. So anything can happen right here. So that's why we're still here. What's going to be interesting is when pit stops happen. I don't think these folks have pit in quite a bit. Or if they have, I just missed it and I forgot about it. But they cannot make it to the end on fuel. So it's going to be interesting on when people decide to. Now, if I were in this race, I would be, number one, watching the road, but number two, seeing when P1 and P2 come into pit. If they pit together and you're still 10 seconds back, I would think about pitting at that time as well. That way you're at least on the same strategy. If they pit and you go by, you're still ahead of them, but you got to be hauling ass to try to get around as much as possible before they come in, which might work if you're doing just a fuel splash and dash only. If you've taken care of the tires at this point, you probably don't need them for 26 laps. Just ride or die with what you got on there right now. So we'll see. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what strategies happen here with 26 to go. $52 miles. I did that math very quickly in my head. 52 miles to go. All right, so we're moving back to acceptable. Noah has gotten himself up there in the fourth. Well, this is the last car in this block, 3 through 6. So now on board with acceptable loss. P1 and P2 are close. They are right on top of each other. Alex has shifted outward. Maybe went in a little too hot. Got a little too loose. Shifted up the track. But he's probably going to have enough room to kind of slide back in if he wants to. Or maybe he's riding the outside line. Or he's trying to get acceptable to pass. And then he moves down to pit. Obviously not the case. I think, well, so there goes two people. There goes Robert, and was that Burl? So Robert is into the pit. Maybe a little, what happened? So Burl's still out there. I thought I saw two people come in. Oh, that must have been maybe Theo. So Robert was in the top 6, top 5. He's come in. So we're going on board with P1 and P2. Jeff Hooten still in the lead with Carlos here on board right behind. So folks are pitting. Robert there pitted at least earlier than these two did. So he will be able to run just that rich unless he didn't go full tank, which I'm sure some of these folks probably are not going full tank. They're putting in just what they need. Running that rich fuel and then going as quickly as they can. So between these two, what strategy will they do in the pit? We saw Robert not take any tires. I think he came in or I don't think I sat on board with him long enough. I would assume he probably did not get tires. He probably went with fuel only, which is, I would expect the others to do as well. So Jeff is coming in. We're going to sit on board with him. What's he do here for his last stop of the race? No tires. Fuel only. So here comes Carlos. How many more laps is he going to go? Jeff should be out, back, probably fully on the track before Carlos catches back up. Oh no, he's right there. So Carlos has gone around. So let's wait and watch here. I think that's Ninja Rigatoni. So Carlos has a little bit of a draft partner. Does that help him go longer to then do even a smaller of the Splash and Dash. We've also lost another car. Who did we lose? Carlos, acceptable. Burl. We lost Noah. I don't know what happened to him. There was no full course yellow trigger. So we lost Noah and all that. I don't know why or how. That's unfortunate. He was sitting there nice and pretty in the top 6. But we've lost him to something. Hopefully not a DQ. I don't know. Hopefully not a DQ. So we're sitting on board P1. We're waiting to see when a pit stop happens. Everyone is now pretty much spread out. The closest people are 7 and 8. Pingu and Vespa. Right on top of each other. About a minute back from this. So that's what? Almost 2 laps? 2 laps down? Acceptable. 11 seconds back. So how close is Carlos going to get? Hey, Pickle, welcome. Good early morning to you. Ragey, they're going left, and we're almost done. Unfortunately, AMS2 has kind of shown itself once again with some DQ bugs, some track bugs, some other type of bugs. It hasn't been the greatest showing of AMS2 as a whole. That's for sure. So, unfortunate. We started this race with 20 people. We're down to 11. We're on board with P1, who has 10 laps to go. Should have to pit again. I do think. I'm not keeping track of when people actually did pit, but I would think. I have not tried the new R Factor 2 multiplayer. Back to Arth, never. I'm never going back to Race Room. I'll take myself to iRacing or just Forza Motorsport all together. But Pickle, no, I have not tried the R Factor 2 multiplayer. I've heard decent things about it, but I might try it at some point. I don't know. I don't do R Factor very much at all. I'm just trying to see here. Trying to see where is. No. So Robert, that's Burl. So we got Vespa here. We got Pingu right ahead. Really well implemented. That's I mean, that's good. It you know, the topic of R Factor 2 is very very volatile within the sim racing community. So some people want to see it completely dead and gone. Other people really like it and want it to be around, you know, and viable. And it definitely needed a shot in the arm to be viable. LFM. When I watch your live streams, I get constant stutter on my TVs too. Like any live stream, Rangy. I will say with this, I've been noticing. I've been noticing with AMS2, at least under the director, like sometimes it gets like a little stuttery. I have though. For anyone that's like just shown up, I am having. I don't know if it's OBS or just YouTube issues. Sometimes there is a stutter. We've kind of just been dealing with it. because I didn't feel like restarting the stream over early in all this. So you might get some stutter here and there, especially this one, because I'm actually seeing it do it. It could be codec issues. I'm not sure. I mean, I haven't really changed anything. Some things go really well. Some things don't. I'm just going to blame AMS2. But, we can figure it all out. John, it drew a lot of... Yeah, so, I mean, a lot of people are upset because... Well, people are upset because R Factor 2 or MSG has the IndyCar license. So a lot of people are upset about that. A lot of people are upset about the virtual Le Mans. And the last one was pretty much the worst thing that you could ever have seen. Acceptable. I'm glad you guys are here to keep me looking at things going on. So acceptable here. We've got 4 laps to go. Now Carlos did come in. So he is now behind. So Jeff Hooten's up here. They're 12 to 13 seconds back from acceptable loss out there in P1. He's trying to fuel save. That's what I heard. Let's just listen. I'll quit talking. He's definitely not full bore. So he's definitely trying to manage this fuel as well as he can. He's coasting. There's a car hitting the wall up there. Look out for this. Someone's doing that NASCAR wall ride. He's coasting wherever he can. Go. 2 laps. He's really hit it. Has he run out of fuel? Oh no. I think he's lost it, folks. That is an empty fuel tank. He's going to be able to get around though and get a splash. But these two here are coming. He came up, acceptable came up a lap short. Now it sounds like oh no. The safety car's out. We are going to end under yellow. So acceptable had fuel. The full course yellow's out. And I don't know why, because everyone is still moving. Does anyone show any type of damage? Let's go through wing. Theo's is a little banged up. Vespa's is there. Pingu's is there. Burles is there. Alex looks okay. Carlos looks okay. Hooten looks okay. Acceptable's okay. That ends it. Acceptable loss. Wait, why did it say Jeff Hooten? Wait a minute. Let's wait a minute here. Okay, so what happened? Penalties. Oh my goodness. Save the replay if we can. So, Jeff Hooten was the only one to not have any type of penalty, which is why he gets P1. Congratulations to Jeff Hooten, P1. Carlos, with a 5-second penalty, gets P2. Acceptable, unfortunately for him, because it finished under yellow. They were within 10 seconds. Yeah, see, I don't have any part of that process. So that will be up to the stewards, Theo Lupu, Theodore Insbury. That'll be up to someone else because I don't know. I'm not even sure what triggered that last. Must have been Robert because he retired 4 laps down. And just like that, it's gone. Just like that. Gone. So, folks, that was the final round. Hopefully, that might be the last time we ever see the Formula USA. I don't know. I think Theo said they're reversing time penalties. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really involved. I probably should be, but I'm not really involved with all of that per se. So we will see how things shake out. Either way, I believe Jeff Hooton, no matter what, will have the overall Drivers' Championship of the series. Also, unfortunately, because Chris Ouellette and Mark Sheen, who were the teammates, they were P1. They were both out of this race. They have probably lost P1, and probably Jeff Hooton and Jeff Lacey might have P1 as well of the team championship. So we'll have to figure all that out. If you're not in the Can-Am SimSport Discord, get there, because that's how you'll find out what's all happened at the end of all this, because we don't get that in real time, and I won't sit here long enough, and we may not figure that out until after any type of stewarding submissions or whatnot come in. So probably by tomorrow, we will know who has won what and where anyone has ended up. So take that link right there, discord.gg/CASS, and get yourself in the Discord, and you'll be able to figure out what's happened after all this, because there might be drama, perhaps. I don't know. There may be nothing, but you'll still find it out. Mark Sutton, thank you. Pickle, thank you. And listen, I did this for the benefit of the community itself, to kind of showcase the drivers. I wish that AMS2 could give us a more complete package when it comes to racing. And the difference that I have between racing and driving, AMS2, how much money do they get? They get none. You're welcome, Mark. I said earlier, AMS2 is a fantastic driving simulator from a physics standpoint, weather, track, tires, all that stuff. It's not very good for racing. It can be, but then again, in things like this, it really shows itself on how much further it has to go for like leagues or championships or just people that want to do serious races. There are a lot of bugs, and unfortunately it shows itself. So apologies for the sim itself for things that have happened to people that showed up here in chat. But we did this. I did this to have a good send-off of the Formula USA 23 Championship. Hopefully we did. Hopefully you enjoyed that. And to showcase the people that were able to make it, that were able to finish. For those that couldn't finish because of the sim, that's kind of the worst thing that can happen. Unfortunately, it's all out of our control, and it's just the sim doing whatever it wants. So, if you're still out there and you haven't put a like on this yet, do so. Do it for the community first and foremost. Do it for the other racers. You can do it for me last if you want to. If you're out there, if you've been watching along, if you've enjoyed this, or if you want to enjoy something else that we do, Nikita, your DQ is 100% your own fault. Okay. Formula US 24. I hope to never see a 2024 version of the Formula US. So, okay, I kind of take back. Some folks maybe deserved their DQs or their way out of this race, but then I think the majority of people probably did not. Why everyone had a time penalty there at the end, we'll probably never know. And that's just the unfortunate thing. But everyone, you're very welcome to anyone who enjoyed this. Subscribe to the channel if you want to. Put a like on this if you want to. We'll certainly do some more stuff outside of AMS2. I like to do things everywhere. iRacing, Forza Motorsport, all kinds of stuff. That's me on a personal level. But then again, we do a lot of things in the Can-Am SimSport 2 and AMS2. So if you want to see all kinds of stuff, subscribe here. Check out, you can just search on YouTube for the Can-Am SimSport YouTube channel. All of this will go right up there, unedited. We're putting it all right in there. This has been recording the entire time for almost 2.5 hours. It's all going to go up there. That way, if you want to watch it back there, you can. You can watch it back here, you can. There'll be no hitches with an H. Hitches on the Can-Am SimSport one, because it's not going to catch any of those from a live stream. So that's about all I have. I appreciate everyone that came out tonight, that wanted to hang out and watch. Hopefully that was enjoyable. Hopefully I did a good enough job kind of talking my way through things of how I do it or how I see it or how I go about it. We're all different. If you're a sim racer, you do things a lot differently than any other sim racer. And that's why we're all here. Have some fun. Do some stuff. Everyone take care. Pickle, take care. We had Zoltan out there, Nikita. We had John. John was a new subscriber today. Thank you for that, John. We had Rangy at one point, Mark Sutton. We had Mark Sheen, West Coast Mark. We had Chris. We had, who else did we have? We had Ian Arnold out there somewhere at one point. We had Mrs. Orange Hat. We had the real Orange Hat. We had all kinds of people show up. So thank you to everyone who showed up, who wanted to take this all in, have a little fun. We didn't get as psycho as what I thought or what I expected or what I anticipated. But hopefully we did a good enough job. So until the next time, I don't know what that'll be, but it's going to be something. So everyone stay safe as always. Stay healthy as always. Take care of yourselves out there. And keep coming back. And if you're a sim racer, find our community. Have some fun with it. And introduce yourself if you're coming in new. We're all great people. We all love to have fun first and foremost, but then also have really great racing as well. So find us if you haven't found us yet. Keep coming back here. We'll keep doing it. Until the next one, we're out. Have a great evening. Have a great week.